Anakin pauses for a moment. You will collect both of us together. I will collect both of you together. Well then, you should inform Master Kenobi. He's just over there. The messenger does so and leads the two of them outside. They reach outside and the fresh air hits Anakin like a slap in the face. On the fringes of the galaxy, Talon pilots a ship through the stars. Behind her, the injured Maul is slowly waking up from being sedated. Suddenly, he jolts awake with a roar. Talon puts the ship on autopilot and runs in. It's alright, you're safe here. Talon? Where am I? Don't worry, you're safe. I'm taking us somewhere we can hide. Hide? From the Jedi? From everyone. I tried to get us back in a separatist space, but some of our own ships fired on us. Tarkin ships. That would be my guess. I had to go into hyperspace to get us away. It doesn't matter. If the clones see me again, it won't matter if Tarkin is in charge. They'll follow me. Not if you can't stand on your own 2 feet. Literally. You came back for me. You didn't have to do that. I couldn't just leave you on Coruscant. Sidious would have made sure that you didn't survive long enough to talk. I had to get you out of there. That was foolish. You went right into the lion's den. It's not just that. There's been a shift in the dark side. I don't know if you can sense it yet, but it's there. Where are we going exactly? To a place in the Outer Rim? A place that can make you whole again? Legs, fingers, and we'll be safe there. Maul looks at her. There has been a shift in the dark side, but there's also been a shift in you. Talon looks back at him. You should get some rest. We still have a journey ahead of us. Back on Coruscant, a few days have passed since what the news is now calling the Black Sunset, because the bomb went off just as the sun was setting over Coruscant, and the smoke formed from the blue plasma burning through the stone walls of the funeral hall created a thick, low-hanging black cloud that loomed ominously over the capital, creating the Black Sunset, after which the event was named. Palpatine has been busy with his tricks, and he's convinced everyone that the attack was the work of separatist loyalists, the same people who freed Maul from prison. And the new Grand Moff Tarkin, in joining with Palpatine in condemning this attack, has gone a long way in the ceasefire between the Separatist and the Republic being accepted and passed by the Senate, which, with the Jedi Council out of the picture, Palpatine has been quick to rush through the Senate. And a condition of the new peace treaty is that the Jedi are cut out of any involvement in politics. They are still considered the guardians of the Republic, but they no longer have any power to block laws from being passed or to get involved in the government at all. Yoda steps through the rubble of the former Jedi Temple, which collapsed in around the funeral hall when it exploded. By his side are Obi-Wan, as well as a few other Jedi who were fortunate enough not to have made it back to Coruscant in time for the funeral. Yoda is unusually quiet. The archives were destroyed in the collapse, but I estimate there are still around 400 Jedi that were off-world when this occurred. 400 Jedi is enough for us to start over, to rebuild. And now that the war is over, you say? Over? No, Master Kenobi, not over. He kicks at some of the rubble in front of him. The work of a new enemy, this is. One that has remained hidden until now. A new enemy? You don't think this was Separatist loyalists? Master Yoda and I have talked about this at length. We have been sensing a disturbance in the Force here on Coruscant for quite some time. We believed that it was Count Dooku working against us, but even now, after his death, the disturbance is still here. Clearly, Coruscant isn't safe for us anymore. If we regroup our remaining Jedi here, the same thing could happen again. So what then? We regroup our remaining Jedi, but we do it discreetly, silently, off-world, until we can uncover who this new enemy is. But if there's a threat here, it's a threat to the government too. We should stay to protect it. We're no longer a part of the government. Our hands are tied. But don't worry, we still have friendly eyes and ears around that can keep us informed of any developments here. But for now, we must regroup off-world and in secret. Anakin knows a few places off the grid we could use as rallying points. I could ask him. What? Told you. He has not. Told me what? We thought Anakin would have talked to you by now. I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you, but Anakin's quit being a Jedi. What? He chose to leave the Jedi Order. He said, now that the war is over, he just wants to have a normal life. I'm still not used to seeing you in non-Jedi clothes. Maybe I picked this outfit to put you off your game. Or you picked it because it's your new work clothes. And it's working, by the way. I just can't imagine you working on a space freighter. Not just working on a space freighter. I'm the navigator on a space freighter.
No, my father didn't fight in the wars. He was a navigator on a spice freighter.
See? Told ya. Are you sure you're going to be okay with this? Living as a civilian? Does this answer your question? He types his move into the console. Padme looks at the board in amazement. No, that didn't just happen. She looks up at him. I was wondering how long it would take you to make that move. I figured we didn't need to play this game anymore. Well, what can I say? You got me. You got me. They exit the diner arm in arm, and we see that they're actually on Alderaan, Padme's home world, and the streets are full of people celebrating the return to their world. Padme looks at her watch. We better get moving. It looks like the coronation is about to begin. Remember how I said that the prince had been refusing the title of being the king of Alderaan because he didn't feel like he could accept that until he had helped to return his people back to Alderaan, because only then would he feel like he's actually earned it? Well, apart from Palpatine, he was the one who pushed the hardest to get the peace treaty signed because he knew it would result in his people's return back to Alderaan. And it has. So now he feels comfortable in accepting that title, and he is being crowned as the new king. And this event is sort of doubling as a massive homecoming party for all of Alderaan. Anakin and Padme hustle down the busy streets to the palace. The guards there know who they are and they let them in as VIPs, because Anakin is the savior of Alderaan after all. They bring them into the VIP section, and Padme spots her brother Owen and sister-in-law Beru on the other side of the room. Anakin, however, spots Palpatine up in a booth staring down at him. Padme excitedly tugs at Anakin's arm. There's Owen and Beru, over there. You go ahead, I'll be right with you. She hurries over to them. Palpatine gestures to Anakin for him to come up and speak to him. Palpatine's security lets him through. He goes up the stairs and reaches the booth. Palpatine dismisses all the other people there so that he and Anakin can be alone. When they are, he takes out a pouch full of those vials of medicine that Anakin needs, and he places them down on the table beside Anakin. I realize you must have been running low, so I brought you a new batch. Hopefully you won't need those for much longer though. Your suit's coming along nicely. In fact, we've been able to incorporate some of that special iron into it for you. Anakin doesn't pick up the pouch. He just leaves it on the table and stares at Palpatine coldly. I'm sorry I didn't speak to you after the Black Sunrise incident, but my security rushed me off the world as soon as it happened. Palpatine turns and looks out over the sea of people. Look at that. Life has returned to this world, and it's all thanks to you, Anakin. And you as well. In fact, I think a lot of this had more to do with you than it did with me. Anakin looks over the balcony and sees Padme with Owen and Beru. She is smiling from ear to ear. I haven't seen her smile like that since the first day I met her. I'm glad to see that smile again. In fact, I see a lot of smiles out there, but I wonder how many would still be smiling if they knew the foundation that this new universe of yours is built on. Yes, the universe is strange like that. When it comes to growth, a loving act and a cruel act can be one and the same thing. That's what Mace Windu believed, wasn't it? Anakin turns. And how, exactly, do you know what he believed? Palpatine turns to face him. I know many things, my young friend. Yes, you do. There are many beings in the universe that can resist Jedi mind tricks, that can block Force users from sensing their intentions or sensing their mindsets, but there are very few people that can open their minds entirely to a Jedi, have a Jedi peer into every corner of their mind, and yet still manage to conceal something, still manage to lie without being detected. Go on. To do that would take not just a person who is Force sensitive, but a person who is trained, highly skilled, and there's only two types of people in the galaxy that are skilled and trained Force users, and I know you're not a Jedi. Go on. I mean, Maul and Talon can't be the only ones, and even then, they would have had to learn from someone, perhaps someone who is still alive, someone with a great deal of patience, who knows how to use their skills to manipulate and get everything in place until the time is right. Speak your mind, my young friend. Anakin looks out at all the smiling people before locking eyes with Palpatine. Can you teach me? Palpatine takes a deep breath. They say when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and here I am. So yes, it would be my honor, my young apprentice. Well, there we have it, guys. That is the conclusion of my Attack of the Clones fan fiction rewrite. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. I really did enjoy making it too. It was so much fun. And yes, there will be Revenge of the Sith. Yes, I do have most of it planned out. I've just got to work out the little, fine details of connecting everything. But there's going to be some really exciting moments in that of Anakin really becoming Darth Vader and hunting down the Jedi across the galaxy. And we're going to get to see the birth of like Luke and Leia and how all that happens and how they get separated. And so I want to thank all of you guys for your support, and until that time when Revenge of the Sith is finished, then I hope you subscribe to my channel and check out everything that's there. I am Bandit, this is Bandit Incorporated, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the comments.